Okay, let's wrap up First Corinthians chapter 16. Paul's going to just sort of deal with some, personal matters here as he closes his letter. This first couple verses here, it's interesting because he says, now regarding your question about the money being collected for God's people in Jerusalem. If you remember, there was a famine in Jerusalem, and so some of the churches were helping the believers there in Jerusalem. He said, you should follow the same procedure I gave to the churches in Galatia. And here's the procedure. And I think there's something to learn from this even today. He says, on the first day of each week, you should each put aside a portion of the money you have earned. Don't wait until I get there and then try to collect it all at once. So that's a great example for us even today, that as believers, we should give regularly. We shouldn't just give whenever there's, some special occasion, but we should make it a regular habit. We talk about tithing. We talk about, I think the principle there is that you give regularly, you give proportionately, and you give sacrificially. And we see evidence of it right here, even just as he's sort of closing with some of these greetings. And also notice, by the way, how the churches supported one another, and which is, I think, is really great for us to see and to continue to imitate today. And then he goes on here sort of toward the bottom. He's talking about some of the other leaders. He's just given some practical closing instructions, but then he says, he can't help but be Paul. He says, be on guard, stand firm in the faith, be courageous, be strong, and do everything in love. How's that for something that you... A little bit further, we see, I love at the bottom there, he says in verse 20, he says, all the brothers and sisters here send greetings to you, greet each other with a sacred or a holy kiss. And then in verse 21, it says, here is my greeting in my own handwriting, Paul. And so probably what that means is he was writing his letter through a scribe. Someone was helping him write the letter. But now he takes, I can envision him taking the pen and saying, look, this is me. This is legit. This really is me. And he signs his own name to the letter and he sends it off. So again, pretty easy reading for today. 1 Corinthians 16. Go ahead and read that. And we'll see you tomorrow as we continue on in our reading plan.